So today we're back with another automation build that we can use in BeamNG Drive, and today we're taking on a truck build. So this truck is going to be an absolute monster of an off-roader, but stay tuned because I figure out something about this truck and we make a second version. So be sure to hit that thumbs up button and let's jump in. All right, so you guys have spoken. You want to see a brand new vehicle here in automation, and we're going to be building a truck. Now, before you get your pitchforks out and go, you need to build a Porsche. When I say I need suggestions for automation builds, give me a type of vehicle. Let's not go vehicle specific or manufacturer specific, because all you're really going to get is probably a box because I suck at this game. So I kind of want to experiment with like an off-roader. It might actually turn into a monster truck. We'll have to see. So I'm thinking single cab. I think we're going to stick with the V8 this time. I put a V12 in an SUV last time, and yeah, it was pretty ugly. Also, I figured out if you mention the words, here it is, Grog TV in your video, you get a lot of comments about Grog TV. Which, by the way, fantastic automation builder on YouTube. Does other things too, by the way. So since budget is like not a concern, I'm going to go ahead and select a lot of the lightweight stuff, and then we'll move over to trying to make this thing as powerful and as mean looking as possible. Plus, we need big wheels. Okay, so new engine project. I think the last one was named Death. I'm thinking we just name this one America because it's going to be a big V8. The engine variant name, this doesn't matter, but cheeseburger. Okay, so we want V8. There we go. Trying to make it a little bit more traditional American. Magnesium, big motor. I want it to be giant. Let's just up everything. Let's go dual overhead cams here. There we go. She's looking pretty toasty. So let's go with the crankshaft. So this steel here, this seems to be able to take like the maximum torque and RPM. So definitely gonna need that. Make it out of titanium. The pistons. I just need the one that's got the highest number. That's normally what I look at here. So last time I built an engine, I made one that was a nightmare to shift. I'm gonna try not to make that thing this time. I wanted to actually work. So springs and lifters. What's the difference between stiff and soft? Like, what do you actually want here? Maybe I should just turn the RPM limit down a little bit. You know, 9,500 sounds great instead of 12,000. Of course, you got a twin turbo, that bad boy. Got to put a race intake manifold on the top of that. That looks actually pretty awesome. Hold on, can I make it giant? Manifold size, 100%. You know, at some point we're gonna like mess around with the fuel blends. I don't like methanol. That's like dragsters and stuff, right? Or nitromethane, like nitro freaking drag vehicles. I want something that's gonna be able to like run around for a while, right? And of course, we just want like race headers and all that good stuff. Kind of similar to the V12 we did. Still like my dual exhaust. No valves on it. Exhaust size, giant. Catalytic converter, nah. What if I just put no mufflers on here? Is it just loud? On put quality up. Okay, so this is where we've probably screwed something up. Right now, we're sitting at like close to 1,000 horsepower, and everything's in the red right now. So that's normally a good sign. So it's something about the pistons have failed. When you went to go tame stuff and it ends up being 1,600 horsepower. I need to do a little bit of work. This is where I need to watch other YouTubers to kind of figure out what they're doing. Okay, after working with this for a little bit, it ended up being 1,500 horsepower. That's not bad, right? Okay, we got to make this thing look cool. Valve covers. I think we just want to paint them here. I like red valve covers. It looks cool. It looks like you got a little carbon in there too on the top. So I'm honestly satisfied with this. Also, are you really going to see the engine much? Okay, start it up. Let's do a pull here. What's this sound like? Wait, why does it sound like a tractor? Okay, here it goes. Oh my goodness. It's so loud. Man, you gotta love that. It brings a tear to your eye. That massive V8 power. At least I think it's gonna be massive. So we have the America cheeseburger. Red line's at 9,500. I guess that's a good thing. And it's got 1,500 horsepower. V8. Cool. Yeah, this is probably where I want to figure out if I can actually decorate a vehicle a little better than I did last time. Also, interiors. I don't really understand interiors in the game. I need to look at a tutorial on that because I would like to actually... I mean, it's probably going to be really basic if I were to do an interior, but I really would love to do an interior. By the way, let's go ahead and we need to offset these wheels a little bit. So let's go width. Actually, these are the fronts. You need to keep these uniform. I want wide tires. 50. I feel like they should go bigger than that. Wheel diameter. I want to keep it. I don't want like big rims on it. Hold on. There we go. Is there a mirror option for this? I feel like there should be, if there isn't. Yeah, no, this makes total sense. Is there a way to make this thing maybe set a little higher? Because it's looking a little bit on the funny side right now. Here we go, ride height. Oh, yes, this is what I'm talking about. We wanted to ride high, but I don't want it to be a complete, like, rollover risk. Oh, we could squat it. Does anybody want the old tootin' of the monster truck? Okay, just gonna paint all the panels here. Let's go with the green. I like a good green. I don't like the, hold on. I need the shine to go down quite a bit. That's the one thing, and I don't like the flake on here. Like, I'd like just a solid color. Actually, I might go with a two-tone. Maybe we'll paint the front, like, black. Actually, no, that's that. Okay, hold on. Moto's got too many things open at once. There we go. They get a little darker. Do the tires look too wide? I don't know. I can't, honestly, I can't really tell. I don't think they are. Okay, we got to put stuff in here. I'm not really sure if this is going to be morely for off-road challenges or running over cop cars. We're going to have to figure that out. I want big, aggressive lights here. I need to bring up the front. I'd like for it to look a little modern. There's not many modern trucks in Beam. Okay, we're going to start off with the bumper here. So let's go ahead and put this in. Oh, that looks kind of goofy. We're going to make that a lot bigger. Actually, does this one normally attach? This one might attach more to the front of a bumper. This actually looks like an add-on piece. This doesn't look like it would form into a bumper. Let's make a super tall bumper. Okay, that looks stupid. Actually, probably best to start off with like a grill or something, and then I can get a feel for like where the bumper is going to actually need to be set. So we want a nice, pretty tall grill. Hold on, let's make it go. Let's go up with it a little bit. One thing I don't like about this grill is the whole fact of how far it flares out on the sides. Is there one that's a little flatter? Hold on, let me try this one, but with a little bit of a different trim. I like the bars going across. This one's got slightly flatter ends on it. Like, that's not terrible. Let me go down a little bit. That's the one thing that's bothering me, because I can't find headlights that actually like shape into it the way I want it to. Okay, I kind of found a headlight I like. I'm still not set on the grill here. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like a older Ram headlight. The grills are still bothering me because I still can't find one that I'm absolutely happy with. But I think if I found headlights that I'm fairly happy with, I could probably find a grill. Ooh, hold on. I got one. It's like an older looking grill. Got a little chrome on there. Hold on. Let's see if we can shape this to be decent. Honestly, I don't hate it right now. I might hate it here in a couple minutes, so we'll see how this progresses. Also, I really want like a massive like hood vent on here. I just feel like it would look kind of cool. Plus, it might actually add a little shape to, one of my bodies, which typically has like no shape. There we go. It's like dipped up a little bit. My truck has a smiley face on it now. Okay, so I've got a bumper on here. I'm not sure I'm actually happy with any of this in the front. You're probably just going to see it change several times as I work on other objects. So we'll go back to this. I need to work on the side, maybe the rear bumper. Maybe it'll give me some ideas for the front. And just add some stuff in here and try to polish this turd. So for the rear bumper, I actually kind of like what I did. It's a pointless aero device that wouldn't actually probably be applied to a truck like this. I put a diffuser and then you have a bumper right above it. Doesn't really make sense, but I like it. It's probably not the only time we're gonna look at this build and go, this doesn't make sense. Okay, I'm actually not like too dissatisfied with the rear. I feel like maybe the tail needs to be worked on a little bit more. So we got that. You got the front. I put a front bumper bar on there. I think it actually looks quite a bit better. All right, so adding some more like small details. Like I've never actually put windshield wipers and stuff on any of my builds, so I figured that would be kind of cool. Maybe you guys would appreciate that. But still just working on several things here. Hoping to be done here relatively soon. Okay, so I've changed the tire like width and how big they were. I feel like it looks a little bit more appropriate. Real quick, I'm gonna look. Can I do any of the interior stuff? Can I just like shove a hole? Oh my goodness. Yep, I'm gonna definitely need to figure out how to get into like the dash and stuff like that. But you know what? It might work. It's really high powered. I like it. I think I'm gonna put a couple more like lights on it, and then I think we're gonna be about done with this bad boy. Okay, so I think I am satisfied now. I think I've put on all the parts that I think I'm going to be able to put on without going too overboard. I added some actual molding to like the roof and the hood a little bit more. We gave it the old Camodo treatment. I think it's going to turn out okay. So let's go ahead and export this. Actually, no, drive type. Forgot about all this. 4x4. I think we're going to put about a 6-speed transmission. It says top gear. Oh. I mean, you're going to want to do both off-roading and maybe some on-road stuff. I don't know how this thing's actually going to work out. Ooh, actually, look at these chunky off-roaders. Yo, these are pretty cool. And I kind of like these. Okay, so this is where we need to figure out, like, what is the best off-road springs here? It says active comfort, but is that like is that sporty, though? I mean, it's not bad. Let's go active sport here. Okay, well, there's not a lot of red stuff in front of me, so that's pretty cool. Normally, when I get to this screen, everything's red, so let's go ahead and export this. Oh, my goodness. Let's put it into Beam and see what it looks like. So I thought putting no, like, sort of mufflers on the exhaust would be a good idea. It's so freaking loud. Also, I need to probably up the tint on the windows because you can see right there. And oh my goodness! Let me get this speedometer up. One thing the game did warn me about is maybe my brakes were a little too big, and it might brake a little too good. You know, doing that probably would have been a good idea. Oh my goodness, this thing rips. It's so loud. I had to actually turn my game down. It's so loud. What is this? All right, so we're in high 2. Okay, let's go high 4 real quick. Oh my goodness. You know, going 1,500 horsepower and off-roader probably wasn't a great idea. Okay, let's just test it out. I mean, you know, honestly, it's sticking to the dunes. The suspension works pretty well. Does it look great? Not really. Still working on using more, like, body parts, and I would love to figure out the interior. Like, I feel like it just looks silly. I should have, like, really tinted the windows. Now, is it like a dedicated, like, trophy truck off-roader? Oh, my goodness, we broke the suspension doing that. Okay, well, that's definitely something. No, you know, I kind of want to take it out to the road. Oh, my goodness. It's got wheel spin. All right, there we go. Yeah, this is great. This makes total sense. You know, maybe there is a point in time where I should go, maybe I shouldn't try to make it like maximum horsepower. This thing was going like 250 for a little bit. You know, I wonder if I did another variant, except for like abandon the off-road, just switch the suspension up and put like slicks on it. Like, does anybody get that single cab F-150 vibe where it's like you got to watch out because it's got a big motor? Yeah, like I like how tall it is. This looks like something you would see in Texas, but I almost feel like you could just do another variant of this. Like I said, change the suspension setup, put a little bit, well, actually quite a bit smaller tires on it, like some slicks, and this thing would be like a drag truck. Honestly, if you would maybe switch the fuel over, nitromethane, maybe that's what we should do. I might do that next time, and like maybe just stick with this model, make some adjustments, definitely work on the body a little bit more. Yeah, this thing is a deadly monster. It really, truly is. But I feel like if it was low to the ground and it had its slicks on there, it would honestly be, I don't want to say perfect. You know, we should switch that. So I could save this variant. So we created an off-road truck. It's a bit of a monster. I probably honestly would detune it a little bit and make it a little bit slower if you really want to just like have a good time over the dunes. I mean, it's pretty good though. Like, I'm not going to lie. But I feel like a part of me's like, man, just go back in, edit, and see if I can maybe swap the tires out real quick. Okay, so we're going to keep our one just real quick. We are going to go back in and let's move this around a bit. So swapping it over to methanol actually increased the horsepower to closer to 2,000. Hold on, can I run it a little richer? It's not in the red. So I'm going to make a real quick adjustment here. We're going to do one more dyno on it just to see what happens. It was reading closer to 2,000. Okay, here it goes. I also put mufflers on it. That way maybe I can hear. Oh, what have we done? Okay, I just wanted to be a rear-wheel drive. This thing's going to be a monster. Let's go a manual. Can I do a 5-speed? I'm putting drag tires on it, by the way. I really want to see that. Okay, so I'm exporting one more over here. So this one's been changed up, more horsepower. You got drag tires on it now. Okay, so here it's still loud. Here it is. Let's go ahead, turn off. Well, actually, it's sport and comfort. I need to figure out how to get. Oh my goodness! Oh, it wants to jump. Let's just run it real quick. Yep, it pops. It needs a wheelie bar. My goodness, it's got grip though. I mean, of course, we're on a prep surface with drag tires, and the tires still look comically big. Here we go. This thing's almost 300 miles per hour, by the way. Yeah, that's something. How do we think it's gonna run on like a highway though? Let me spawn in some traffic real quick. We're gonna do one more test here. I tell you what, I am god awful at creating like bodies and stuff, but at least they're fast. I don't know if that's a positive or negative. All right, so we got some traffic spawned in. Oh my goodness, it's great. The police are pursuing me. Well, I think it's morely me against myself here when it comes to driving this car. You know, surprisingly, there's like no wheel spin anymore. I changed to a rear-wheel drive too. It just actually hooks up. It's got a 5-speed, and I wish I had more highway. Honestly, I had to run over the car there. This is ridiculous. Like, okay, so like, say for instance, I can just nail the throttle. It pops a wheelie. Those drags have got to be helping a lot. I wonder with a normal like race tire, what it would do. But it's fast. I mean, we proved that we can make something that goes in a straight line fast. Honestly, the off-road variant wasn't too bad. I just got to really figure out the body molding. That's the one thing I'm a little ashamed of. It still looks like a giant box. Turning-wise, actually not bad. I don't need the AI to turn in front of me here. Hey, at least this one shifts, unlike the last vehicle that we did. Bye, losers. Dude, it rips. Also, I really probably need to make the tires even smaller. Like, they're still, like, clown tires right now. I don't know if that's actually helping or hurting, but I feel like the whole thing could just be lowered quite a bit. And if you made lower tires, maybe it wouldn't look so bad. I know also the back end of the vehicle is a little too tall for me. It kind of reminds me of like a Chevy Avalanche, which I'm not a huge fan of that. I probably should have went with the trim that doesn't have like the little extra off-roady bit looking things. But we're learning here. Still got a lot of learning to do, but let me know what you guys thought about today's attempt at a build, and we will see you guys next time. Ouch.